What's up, Spartans? Batman here, and today we are talking about the HCS World Championship that just happened this weekend. It was an intense and unexpected ride that was just fantastic from start to finish. So, after the pool play, the first thing that I noticed was that the top side of the bracket, of the winner's bracket, was very, very heavy. It had Optic Gaming, it had Sentinels, it had FaZe Clan, and that's on the top half. So in my book, if I had to pick the top 4 teams in no particular order, it'd be Optic Gaming, Sentinels, FaZe Clan, and Space Station Gaming are those top 4 in my mind. 3 of those were on the top half of the bracket, whereas Space Station was the only one of those heavy hitters on the lower bracket. So I had a feeling that Space Station was going to have a lot easier of a time than the other 3 teams who had to duke it out just to get to the winner's final. Not saying or downplaying any of Space Station's accomplishments, they are a fantastic team and they deserve to be in a winner's final. But the other 3, I was really surprised to see after the pool play that they were matched up. Specifically starting with Optic Gaming versus Sentinels. So 2 of the best teams happened to duke it out right from the get-go. And Optic swept them 3-0, whereas FaZe Clan, who's in the same bracket, had to beat Shopify Rebellion, and they swept them 3-0. So come to the semifinals, we have FaZe Clan versus Optic Gaming. It was a super tight series. Optic narrowly winning 3-2. All the while, Space Station swept all the teams they went up against. And in the winner's final, we had Optic Gaming versus Space Station. And at the get-go, it seemed like Space Station was going to win it in a landslide. But then Optic Gaming did a reverse sweep on Space Station and secured the grand finals, securing them a little bit of cushion and safety before the grand finals themselves. So the Space Station was knocked down and had to go up against FaZe, who was knocked out earlier. FaZe had to go up against Native Red, swept them 3-0. Then Sentinels, one of the other top 4 teams, beat them 3-0. And then went up against Space Station and beat them 3-0. FaZe just played all day, it seemed like. I don't know how they had the mental fortitude to keep going the way that they did. Then we get to the grand finals. Now, the way it works is it's a best of 7 instead of a best of 5 like the rest of the tournament is. And FaZe would have to beat Optic 2 full series, whereas Optic would only have to win against them 1 series. So it doesn't look good for FaZe, especially being knocked down so early. But Optic in the first 2 games just played better and dominated. But then FaZe went on to get 4 straight victories in a row to secure a grand final reset, which I didn't think was even going to happen. And FaZe is my team. But when you're eliminated so early and you're going up in the grand final against the team who put you there, you don't expect it to be a 4-2 series like that. So in the grand final reset, all chips were on the table. Whoever won this series would be crowned the world's best for 2023. FaZe Clan, I'm happy to say, won by a full sweep of 4-0. This is the first time in Halo Infinite's history of HCS that a team that was put in the elimination bracket came back, reset the bracket, and then won the entire tournament. And to do it at Worlds, not only is the prize pool a cool $1 million, it's also the title that goes along with it, saying that you're the best of the entire season. And FaZe has seen a really good season. They've played very well. They've won a few events. They've been in the top 4 almost every time if they weren't. And it just felt like FaZe was on fire. I mean, they literally played Optic 10 games in a row for the grand final and the grand final reset, and they won the last 8 of them against Optic Gaming, who is favored to win. Even I was predicting that they would win in the grand final because FaZe had already lost to Optic, and Optic had an extra life in the tournament than they did. So the odds just weren't in their favor. And again, the fact that they've been playing all day against all these teams and sweeping them, I didn't think that they could keep up, because the mentality that you have to have, the focus you have to have, the stamina is insane. So the fact that they won, it still blows my mind. It almost didn't feel real when it was happening. And you could hear the crowd going crazy about it because it was such an unexpected turn of events. And I couldn't be happier with this season. Not only did this season get to be my first season of attending an event, I got to go to Salt Lake City because I'm a Utah resident and it was a lot closer to me, but also my favorite team won. And I was going to wear the jersey, but I couldn't find it. I think it's in the wash. And I'm so excited for them because they have been working so hard all season. And the work finally shows. It just seemed like Optic could not compete against FaZe. But it was a spectacular thing to watch. It was absolutely fantastic. And with next season changing big time with the new Evo Bandit coming out as the new starting, I also wonder if we're also gonna be seeing a format change, because I know a lot of pros have been wanting some changes, and if you're gonna change the meta by adding a new starting weapon, this seems like the proper time to refresh HCS as a whole. So I'm interested to see what changes they could make, what changes they will make. Let me know down in the comments below what you would like to see as the new format. But all I gotta say is, I'm happy to see, I said in a previous video that I wanted it to be someone else other than Optic. Optic is a fantastic team. If they won it, they would have deserved it, 100%. I think they're fantastic. I just like to see multiple teams win, because it shows that the competition is just that close. And for FaZe to come back and do what they did is just mind-blowing. In top 16th, we had the 4 teams of the following: Cloud9, LVT, Divine Mind, and Ascend Baseline, each going home with $5,000. In top 12, we have Complexity, Native White, G1, Luminosity, and they each went home with $10,000. In top 8, we have Rebellion and Not a Sincere, each going home with $25,000. In top 6, we have Native Red and Rebellion, both going home with $45,000. In 4th place, we have $70,000 for Sentinels. In 3rd place, we had Space Station going home with $110,000. In 2nd place, Optic Gaming went home with $220,000. And FaZe Clan went home with the biggest chunk of the pie with $400,000. But that's all I have for today. I can't wait for next season to start. I'm hoping for another Salt Lake City event. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching TST Gaming. Until next time, just play.